Building substantial wealth is an incredible achievement that requires relentless discipline, strategic investment, and a clear vision for your financial future. But what happens after you finally hit that major savings milestone? While your first instinct might be to celebrate and share your success with friends, family, or on social media, broadcasting your financial wins can unexpectedly become one of the most dangerous mistakes you make on your wealth-building journey. From suddenly becoming the go-to person for loans that will never be repaid to attracting unwanted attention and shifting the dynamics of your closest relationships, the hidden costs of revealing your net worth can quickly erode the very financial security you worked so hard to build. Today, we are going to explore the psychological, social, and financial reasons why keeping your wealth a closely guarded secret is the ultimate power move for anyone serious about protecting their assets, maintaining their peace of mind, and ensuring their money continues to grow without unnecessary external pressures. Part 1. The social and psychological consequences of revealing your wealth. When you disclose that you have accumulated significant savings or achieved a high net worth, the way people perceive you fundamentally changes overnight. You transition from being an equal peer or a relatable friend to a walking safety net in the eyes of those around you. This psychological shift means that every interaction, dinner, or group vacation suddenly carries an unspoken expectation about who should pick up the check or cover the extra expenses. People naturally assume that because you have more liquidity, parting with a few hundred or even a few $1,000s means nothing to you. However, this assumption completely ignores the years of strict budgeting, missed instant gratifications, and disciplined investing it took to build that wealth. For anyone building a solid portfolio, the actionable takeaway is to recognize that sharing your financial status does not earn you deeper respect. Rather, it transforms you into a financial utility, stripping away genuine connections and replacing them with transactional relationships where your value becomes tied to your bank account. Keeping your wealth hidden protects you from the emotional tax of survivor guilt and the inevitable resentment from peers who might be struggling. When friends or family members are dealing with credit card debt, mortgage stress, or job loss, your financial comfort can unintentionally breed envy, no matter how humble you try to be. Even if you offer sound financial advice instead of giving them money, your words will often be met with bitterness, as people tend to view extreme financial success as a product of luck or privilege rather than calculated discipline. If you do cross the line and start helping them financially, you will quickly find that the initial gratitude fades, replaced by an ongoing entitlement that drains your emotional energy and your investment portfolio. By maintaining stealth wealth, you preserve your mental peace and keep your relationships completely authentic, allowing you to interact with people based on shared interests and mutual respect rather than a power dynamic heavily skewed by an obvious financial disparity. To effectively navigate your social circles without revealing your financial success, you must intentionally master the art of blending in and controlling the flow of information. This means consciously choosing not to upgrade your lifestyle in obvious ways that signal sudden wealth, such as buying flashy luxury vehicles, upgrading to a massive house, or constantly talking about your stock dividends and real estate acquisitions. If someone directly asks about your finances or how you afford your lifestyle, you should give vague, relatable answers by attributing your stability to careful budgeting or having a strict savings plan, rather than discussing the compound interest on a multi-six-figure index fund portfolio. Furthermore, when social situations arise that feel too expensive for your peers, gracefully suggest more affordable alternatives so you do not stand out as the one who can effortlessly fund the luxury option. By actively managing your outward financial appearance and keeping your mouth shut, you retain total control over your money, ensuring it serves your long-term retirement plans rather than becoming an expected communal resource for your extended social network. Part 2. How boundary shifting leads to expected financial handouts. The moment your financial success becomes public knowledge, the personal boundaries that once governed your relationships begin to shift in subtle but dangerous ways. Boundary shifting in the context of wealth happens when friends or family members unconsciously redefine your money as a communal resource rather than your personal asset. It rarely starts with a massive request for cash. Instead, it begins with small, seemingly harmless assumptions. Someone might conveniently forget their wallet at a group dinner or jokingly suggest that you should cover the bill because you are the one with the successful portfolio. Because these initial amounts are relatively small, you might comply just to avoid an awkward social situation, completely unaware that you have just established a new precedent. The actionable step here is to recognize that every time you absorb someone else's expense simply because you can afford it, you are silently communicating that your boundaries are flexible and that your wealth is available for public consumption. Once that initial boundary is compromised, the escalation from occasional favors to expected financial handouts happens rapidly. The people in your life will start to rationalize their financial requests by minimizing the impact it will have on you, telling themselves that asking for a $5,000 loan is no big deal given your overall net worth. The fundamental problem is that when you lend money to friends or family, it is almost never treated with the same urgency or respect as a loan from a traditional bank, because they know you will not send a collections agency after them or ruin their credit score. Your repayment drops to the absolute bottom of their priority list. To protect your assets, you must adopt a strict, non-negotiable policy against personal loans. If someone approaches you for capital to fund a business idea or bail them out of credit card debt, you must firmly, but politely explain that you never mix family or friendships with personal finance, directing them instead to formal financial institutions where proper boundaries and legal obligations are strictly enforced. If you allow this dynamic to take root, attempting to reestablish your boundaries later will inevitably cast you as the villain in their eyes. When a continuous stream of financial support is suddenly cut off, the person receiving the handouts rarely reflects on their own financial mismanagement. Instead, they become resentful, viewing your refusal as a selfish betrayal of the relationship. This toxic cycle not only drains the capital you need for your own retirement and compound interest goals, but it also strips the other person of their financial independence and accountability. By continuously bailing them out, you are essentially subsidizing their poor financial habits and preventing them from learning how to budget or live within their means. The ultimate strategy for anyone serious about building lasting wealth is to prevent these expectations from ever forming by keeping your financial status completely private, ensuring that your relationships remain grounded in mutual affection rather than financial dependency. Part 3. Protecting yourself from targeted scams and legal liabilities. When you have successfully accumulated a large sum of money, you become a high-value target for a variety of sophisticated financial scams that are specifically designed to exploit those with liquidity. These threats often come in the form of investment opportunities that sound legitimate, such as private equity deals, exclusive real estate syndications, or high-return crypto projects that are not available to the general public. Scammers often use social engineering to get close to people who are known to have wealth, building rapport and trust over months before presenting a fraudulent offer. The danger of revealing your financial status is that you essentially put a price tag on your head, attracting individuals who specialize in identifying and draining the accounts of the wealthy through deception. To take action against this, you must adopt a default stance of skepticism toward any unsolicited financial advice or exclusive offers, and always conduct thorough due diligence through independent, third-party professionals who have no personal stake in the transaction. Beyond the threat of active scams, being known as a wealthy individual significantly increases your exposure to legal liabilities and predatory lawsuits. In a litigious society, people are far more likely to pursue legal action for minor accidents or perceived grievances if they believe the defendant has deep pockets to pay out a large settlement. Whether it is a minor fender bender, a slip and fall on your property, or a dispute with a contractor, your net worth can turn a simple disagreement into a multi-million-dollar legal battle. This is why financial privacy serves as your first and most effective line of defense against legal extortion. If the public and your acquaintances perceive you as someone living a modest, middle-class life, you are far less likely to be targeted by opportunistic lawyers looking for a payout. For those with substantial assets, it is also wise to consider structured protections like umbrella insurance policies or placing assets into trusts, which provide a layer of separation between your personal identity and your wealth, making it much harder for someone to seize your hard-earned capital through the court system. Maintaining total anonymity regarding your savings also protects you from the more subtle but equally damaging risk of identity theft and targeted cyber attacks. When you broadcast your financial wins online or within your community, you provide hackers and digital thieves with a roadmap to your most sensitive accounts. They may use the information you share to craft personalized phishing attacks or to guess security questions based on your public lifestyle. By staying under the radar and practicing stealth wealth, you reduce your digital and physical footprint, making it significantly more difficult for criminals to track your spending habits or locate your brokerage accounts. The most effective way to secure your financial future is to ensure that your wealth remains an invisible force in your life, allowing you to grow your investments in total peace, while the rest of the world remains unaware of the exact scale of your success. This strategic silence is not about being paranoid, but about being a professional steward of your capital who understands that once money is lost to a scam or a lawsuit, the opportunity cost of that lost compound interest can never truly be recovered. Part 4. The hidden impact on your personal drive and financial discipline. One of the most overlooked consequences of revealing your wealth is the subtle but devastating erosion of your own internal motivation and psychological edge. Financial discipline is often fueled by a sense of healthy pressure and the clear goal of reaching a state of security that you do not yet possess. However, once you broadcast your success and receive external validation from others, your brain can mistakenly signal that the journey is over, leading to a dangerous plateau in your productivity and ambition. This phenomenon occurs because the social recognition of being wealthy provides a hit of dopamine that can trick you into becoming complacent with your current achievements rather than pushing for the next level of financial independence. For the viewer, the actionable insight is to understand that true wealth building is a quiet, internal game, and by keeping your milestones to yourself, you maintain that hunger and drive necessary to continue compounding your capital without the distracting noise of public approval. Revealing your wealth also introduces an external layer of scrutiny that can negatively influence your future financial decisions and spending habits. When people know you have money, you may feel an unconscious psychological pressure to live up to that image, which often leads to lifestyle creep and unnecessary luxury, spending that serves others' expectations rather than your own long-term goals. You might find yourself buying a more expensive car or choosing high-end vacation spots simply because you feel that a person of your status should be seen doing those things. This shift from value-based spending to status-based spending is a trap that has drained the fortunes of many who reached early success but failed to maintain their discipline. Keeping your net worth a secret allows you to remain grounded in the same frugal habits and strategic thinking that allowed you to save that money in the first place, ensuring that every dollar you spend is a conscious choice made for your benefit rather than a performance for an audience. Finally, the lack of financial privacy can lead to a loss of the critical habit of saying no to yourself and others, which is the cornerstone of long-term wealth preservation. When your financial abundance is public knowledge, it becomes much harder to justify disciplined choices to those around you, as they will often view your frugality as unnecessary or even miserly. This external pressure can slowly wear down your resolve, making it easier to slip into lazy financial habits or to stop tracking your expenses with the same precision you once did. By practicing stealth wealth, you protect your decision-making process from outside interference and social guilt, allowing you to stay focused on the mathematical reality of your investments. Maintaining this wall of silence ensures that your financial discipline remains an unbreakable part of your character, allowing you to reach the most advanced levels of wealth where your money works entirely for you without being nibbled away by the psychological burden of public visibility. Part 5. Strategic ways to enjoy your money without broadcasting it. Learning to enjoy the fruits of your labor without alerting the world to your net worth is an essential skill for maintaining long-term wealth and personal privacy. This concept involves shifting your focus from conspicuous consumption, which is designed to be seen by others, to inconspicuous consumption, which prioritizes high-quality experiences and assets that provide personal utility rather than social status. For instance, instead of purchasing a flashy supercar that screams for attention at every stoplight, you might invest in a high-end home filtration system, premium organic nutrition, or ergonomic furniture that significantly improves your daily health and comfort without being visible to a single neighbor. The actionable takeaway for any investor is to audit your spending and ensure that your largest outlays are directed toward things that actually improve your quality of life, rather than things that simply improve how other people perceive your life. Another highly effective strategy for enjoying wealth in secret is to prioritize the purchase of time and experiences over physical goods. Time is the ultimate luxury, and using your capital to outsource mundane tasks like deep cleaning, lawn maintenance, or complex tax preparation allows you to reclaim hours of your life for hobbies, family, or further investment research. When it comes to travel, you can enjoy 5-star accommodations and world-class service by choosing destinations that are known for privacy and exclusivity rather than mainstream tourist traps where social media influencers gather to flaunt wealth. When you return from such trips, you can discuss the cultural aspects, the food, or the scenery with friends and family, completely omitting the cost or the luxury level of your stay. This allows you to live a rich, fulfilling life full of adventure while maintaining the appearance of a standard, relatable budget to everyone in your social circle. Finally, you can find immense satisfaction in anonymous philanthropy and building a legacy that does not require your name to be on a building. True financial power is the ability to change the world or help a cause you care about without needing the external validation of a public thank you or a social media post. By setting up a donor-advised fund or making private contributions to local charities and individuals in need, you experience the profound psychological benefits of generosity without the social complications that come with people knowing exactly how much you can afford to give away. This creates a virtuous cycle where your money provides deep personal meaning and societal value. But because it remains a secret, you are never targeted by others for more money or judged for the size of your gifts. Mastering this balance of private enjoyment and quiet impact ensures that your wealth remains a tool for your personal freedom and happiness, rather than a burden of public expectation that complicates your relationships and compromises your security. Wrapping up this deep dive into the philosophy of stealth wealth, it is clear that the decision to keep your financial success private is one of the most significant protective measures you can take for your future. By choosing to stay under the radar, you preserve the authenticity of your relationships, protect yourself from predatory interests, and maintain the psychological hunger required to keep compounding your assets toward true financial independence. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, and the peace of mind that comes with knowing your capital is safe from external pressure is worth far more than any temporary dopamine hit from social validation. If you found this information valuable and want to continue mastering the hidden rules of money and investment, make sure to subscribe to the Sam Invests channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a strategic update. We want to hear from you in the comments below, so please leave a message with the phrase "silence is gold" to let us know you are committed to protecting your journey toward financial freedom.